It's snowing in April. I don't even know what day it is. It's like the 20th, I think. So, at any rate, we have to go pick up the car. We took it in to get serviced. And now, we spent the morning cooking. And when we get the car, we're gonna come back and finish cooking. So everything's ready to go for when we get ready to go on the road on Friday. Officially today, 3 weeks post-op. And I just want to tell you, I feel so good. I feel energized. I have more energy. I've lost weight. Michael's lost weight. I'm sure you can tell in my face if you've been watching these videos for any particular time. At any rate, after my last couple of videos, I got a lot of questions, so I thought I would do ask and tell kind of a thing, commonly asked questions that I received, and just do one fell swoop. If any questions pop up in your brain that you want to ask, feel free to ask. Just comment down below. Give me the questions, and then I guess in another month when I have a few questions built up, I will do another question and answer if it's needed. So let's talk about these commonly asked questions while I'm sitting here waiting to get loaded. One, can you go to Mexico for your weight loss surgery without a passport? The answer is yes. All you need to do is make sure you bring your driver's license, your birth certificate, and if you're married with a changed name, then you make sure you bring your marriage certificate as well. Question number 2. Why did you choose the gastric sleeve versus the gastric bypass? We really considered at first the gastric bypass because supposedly it's a no-fail way of losing weight. But after I started doing some research on it, I was a little bit nervous because not only do they reroute your whole digestive system, but they give you this little bitty like 2-ounce pouch for a stomach. And you have to eat every couple of hours. You have to, and it's a malabsorption, so your body doesn't absorb all the foods that you intake. And you have to take vitamins for the rest of your life because you could become malnourished. And quite honestly, I didn't want to run those risks with our crazy lifestyle. And sometimes we don't have time to really eat. It's got to be on the go, whatever the case may be. I didn't want to risk it. I chose this sleeve because not only is it not as invasive, but also you only have to take your vitamins regularly for the first year. Once you start eating normal foods again and eating a healthy diet, as long as your vitamin levels and your blood work is fine, they said that you're not really required to take vitamins. And with our crazy schedule, again, before surgery, I had vitamins on the truck, and I was lucky if I could remember to take them daily. But now that we've gone through this lifestyle change, it's one of those things where it's kind of like, okay, I get up, I take my vitamins, I drink some water, I have a breakfast, and then, you know, I have a protein shake or whatever, sitting here waiting, and then, you know, go on so forth. And when I take my 30-minute break, I eat again, and then at the end of my shift, I eat again, you know, and then finish my vitamins off during the stopping points. And that seems to really work. How did you get through 2 weeks of a liquid diet? I'm not gonna lie, it was challenging, especially the first 3 or 4 days. Were really hard. And if you look back in my videos from previous of my 300-pound life, I actually talk about the first days of being, you know, hangry and don't go to California, you know. I mean, the first couple of days were really hard, but we scheduled our time so that, because we had 2 weeks off. Oh, I'm sorry. I had 2 weeks of liquid diet. The first week we were on the road. The second week we scheduled it so our time off was during that time. So we scheduled that for the 2 weeks off. The second week we were at home, we could just chill out, not use up a lot of energy, watch TV. We got out and went did a little bit of shopping, and got things prepared, and I packed and did laundry, cleaned the house so that everything was ready to go. So I kept really busy so that I didn't think about food. Also, one way of making yourself feel more full during the liquid diet, because we were allowed to have protein shakes, liquid broth, stuff like that, I put ice. I put the protein in some yogurt or some coconut milk, vanilla, almond milk, whatever, into the blender, add a little bit of banana, add a little bit of protein, add a lot of ice, and that thickened it up, so you actually felt like you were satisfied, so to speak, even though you were on a liquid diet. So the second week was not as hard because I think I was getting more nutrients and more calorie intake, instead of being limited as to what we could do because we're truck drivers and we were on the road and we only had what we could carry, you know what I mean? So the second week was a lot easier for us. The first week was quite challenging, but once we got home and we were able to play with protein shake recipes, etc., I had a lot of fun making them. How long did you take off? We planned to take 3 weeks off. We actually requested the time off from work. We told them what was going on, and we told them, if we can get back in time, we'll get back. If we can get back and get rolling earlier, we will. I don't know how our stomach's going to do once we can start eating food, and they said that's fine, take what you need and just keep us informed. So that's pretty much what we did. And so the first week we took off prior to our surgery, and then we took two weeks off. We had our surgery on the 9th, and then on the 23rd, exactly 14 days later, we went back to work. And we probably could have gone back before then. We were feeling pretty good. We were walking every day, and we were in very minimal pain. We weren't having issues with our bowel movements or having to use the toilet quite often or anything like that. But I really wanted to get food prepped. I just took the time to basically prepare all of our meals for the next 3 or 4 weeks that we were planning to be out on the road. What does our meal prep look like? Well, I'll show you. Okay, so down here in this cabinet we have protein shake. We got additives like the peanut butter. I've got matcha down there. We have our little Ninja Auto IQ. And we've got the Powerades. And we've got plenty of the Gen Pro. Alright, and here in our fridge, I've got almond milk, I've got some cheese. I made some egg quiches that we had kept frozen, and we just pulled those out so that we could start eating them this week. I've got yogurt. I've got this egg salad's frozen. We're just letting it thaw out. I've got chicken salad. That's all in there. I've got a half a dozen of eggs. And then we got a bunch of soups. And I just went through and made all these soups and measured them out for 1 to 2 servings. And this is butternut squash. I've got pea and ham. It's all been pureed in the blender. Butternut squash. Oh, this is cheese and broccoli. And this is probably cheese and broccoli. I got some in the freezer up there. And I have this freezer right here. We've got it tied down in the event. It's set for -4. It's currently 0 degrees inside. And if you open it up, we use it as our deep freezer on the truck. And we have soups and fruit and egg quiches and baked ricotta and all that stuff all up in there. So that's what we've got going on back there with my food prepping. I made a whole video about food prepping, etc. I put it on my Canon, and I was gonna do all my editing on my tablet, but I didn't bring the little push pin, so I need to get a paper clip or something to open it up. So I may upload that a little bit later down in the line. So if you see it come up in the next couple of weeks, You'll know it was pre-made before this one. And that shows you how I made all my prepping. The number one question that I had a lot of people asking me was, how much did it cost going to Mexico? Well, they go according to your BIPAC, their body mass index. Mine was at 50, so mine was $500 extra charge. Michael's was like, how much, 48? 4,300. And mine was like 4,800 or 5,000, something like that. And so it was basically $10,000 that we had to pay when we got there. And they take cash or cashier's check. They don't do credit because they don't want to have to pay the transaction fee. And they have a no cash fee. So if you do like a loan, if you take out a personal loan and send the money to them, wire the money to them, then they charge you a no cash fee, and it's like 3% of whatever the thing was. We did the no cash fee because we wired the money because we didn't feel comfortable flying with $10,000 in our pocket, and so they charged us, I think it was like $287 or $300 or something like that for the no cash fee. Then while we were down there, also we had to pay for our airfare, which was pretty much like $800 round trip for the both of us. And then they gave us blood thinners for the ride home, the flight home, and then we had to take them for 6 days after. And so that was an extra $108 per person, so $200, $216. And then we flew in the day before our surgery, so we had to pay for that hotel night. It was about $80, give or take. And then at the hotel there the night before. And then we decided to fly out. They were going to release us and have the driver take us back on Monday. And I was really nervous I'm a nervous flyer. I get anxiety. So I thought we'll fly out on Tuesday. We'll have them take us to the Holiday Inn right across from the airport. And then we can take the Holiday Inn shuttle to the airport on Tuesday. And so that's what we did. And that hotel was like I don't know, how much was it? 160? Yeah, the Holiday Inn just right across from the San Diego airport was like $160. So you can add it all up, and that's what we paid, shelled out of pocket for this weight loss surgery. Was it worth it? Absolutely. I struggled all last year, and during COVID, not having access to food, etc., and getting my weight down, all the weight that I gained from the COVID. And I couldn't do it. I'd try, I'd lose a little bit, and then I'd gain it right back, and then I'd lose a little bit and gain it right back, and I was having no success. We started this weight loss journey for the surgery back in March, when I had to do 1 week of reduced calorie diet, low fat, low carb, high protein. That was in March. So when I stepped on the scale right before I started that week, I was 273. Then after I did my 1 week of reduced calorie, low fat, low carb, high protein, then I had 2 weeks of liquid diet, and then I got to Tijuana, stepped on the scale. Right before surgery, I was at 255. Yesterday, I stepped on the scale, and I'm at 236. So the scale is going down, and that's good. My highest for the year, highest weight was 280. So you can either count that or not count that, however you want to do it. But this way of eating, I mean, we're eating so little, like literally, this right here is all of our serving. That's it. One meal. So it's not like, you know, you eat a kid's meal burger at Hardee's and you're still hungry afterwards. And it's not like, you know, you eat a bunch of vegetables at the TA, whatever, if they're open, restaurant, and you're still hungry. You know what I mean? I literally eat one little egg quiche, which is like the size of a small cupcake, and I'm stuffed. I eat pureed chicken salad, and I'm stuffed after like 2 ounces, a quarter of a cup. So, that really helps. One of the hardest things I'm having to deal with is making sure to give it enough water intake, because when you're full all the time from eating, you struggle with getting your water intake, or you drink water and then you struggle with getting your food intake. So it's kind of like a catch-22. I'm trying to figure out the balance of it all. And then I'm struggling with my eyes are too big for my stomach now, like way too big, way too big. I'll put a quarter of a cup or half a cup of soup in the bowl, and I look at that and I'm like, that's not enough. And then I put a little bit more, that's not enough. I put a little bit more, I'm like, okay, that's enough. And then I get over to the table and I sit down and eat it, and I can't even eat it all because my stomach is tiny. And so I have to keep reminding myself, just measure your food, just weigh your food. You'll be fine, just keep doing it. It's a learning process, that's all it is. Another common question I get is, how are we doing? Like me and Michael, we're doing great. I have a lot of energy. It's easier for me to stay up overnight. I haven't had to pull off to take one nap. One day I did have a struggle getting going, but it was a long day. We had a lot of issues with the load in the truck and needed both of our attention. And that particular night I finally went to sleep, and then I slept late. And then, but we still made our load on time, so it was no big deal. But every other night since we've been back on the road, and it's officially 1 week today, you know, it's been fairly easy staying up at night. I don't get the midnight zonkies or whatever, you know what I mean, and have to pull over and take a power nap or whatever. How are you feeling?
Feel wonderful.
You feel wonderful?
Not sluggish, losing weight, feel great.
Great. How much have you lost so far?
I don't know, it's still going. Over 40 pounds.
Over 40 pounds altogether. That's awesome. Another common question that we get are, how are your incisions doing? So Michael's got his incisions. They're a lot smaller. You can see this. The scarring is starting, but it's still scabbed. The scarring and the still scab. And we got 2 more over here, and then 1 more over here that's kind of hidden. So, oh, they're doing okay. Mine, this one has a little bit of scab right there. This one has a little scab right there. This one is pretty much all healed up. This one is all scab still. So that one was the one that was all bruised up. And I'll show you a picture of, that's what it looked like there. Any rate, so that pretty much covers it on the commonly asked questions. If I did not cover something, or you have further questions on anything, please feel free to ask below, and I will make sure to get those questions answered, whether it be in a future video or just as a response to the question. Until next time, toodles y'all.
I can't think nothing better than spending my day with you. My life's sunny and better, girl, when I'm with you. She illuminates so bright like a star in the skylines. She got the looks, the good, oh boy, I need her so bad in my life. Shawty, where you wanna go, 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 go? London, Paris, Tokyo, oh, shawty, we could go.